Hi, I'm Ed Cardillo for Good Morning Zompoc, and this is my flash fiction story, Bad Dick. Dick Baker had us trapped inside my office, slobbering on the glass wall, clawing like a wild animal. It wasn't the first time I'd seen him like this. Usually he was pawing at me. Marie, his secretary, clutched my arm. Do you think he can get in? That door should hold. I wasn't sure if that was true, but she needed to hear it. She grimaced. Do we have to look at him? I suppose not. I reached over, grabbed the vertical wand, and closed the blinds. That's better, she said. Susan, maybe we should call security. That's a good idea. I rounded my desk, picked up my phone, and dialed. We have an employee going berserk up here, biting people. Yeah, one is hurt, maybe dead. Dick Baker. Yes, that Dick Baker. Okay, I hung up the phone. Marie searched my face for answers. So, are they coming up? Yeah. She pointed a finger. This is why I don't like working late. There's no one here to help us. Dick Baker always had us working late. We were his dream team. He mostly had us redoing work we already handed in, changing the specs, making it seem like we had done something wrong. After berating us, he offered us drinks and complimented our figures. Sometimes he got grabby. I walked over to my glass wall and opened the blinds. Dick Baker was right there, face pressed up against the glass, smearing his blood and saliva all over it. What are you doing? Asked Marie, horrified. I smirked. I want to see this. It was true. I wanted to see security try to manage a zombie Dick Baker. Truthfully, this version of him was an improvement. He was only slightly less bloodthirsty, and at least he was honest about what he was, a cannibalistic monster. Heathcliff Johnson, a skinny 62-year-old man with a trim gray beard, moseyed onto the floor, clutching his large flashlight. Dick didn't notice him at first. When Heathcliff Johnson muttered something, Dick turned and ran at him, flailing his arms and growling. The two grappled. Heathcliff, clumsy from age, was thrown about like a rag doll. Dick had a hard time landing a blow. It was like watching two drunks fight. It reminded me of that viral video online of two old ladies going at it in front of a nursing home, throwing wild punches, neither of them landing any, both falling to the floor in a crumpled heap. What are you smiling at? I turned to Marie and saw her disapproval. Oh, come on, you have to admit, it's a little funny. Poor Heathcliff, he's risking his life for us, and you think it's funny? We both looked out and saw that Dick must have won. He sauntered back to my office, fresh blood covering the front of his shirt, his designer suit now torn. I shrugged my shoulders. That didn't work. You have to call the police, said Marie. There was a thumping on the glass. We looked at the glass to find Dick thrusting his pelvis against it over and over. Marie frowned. He's humping the glass. I'm calling the cops. I leaned over my desk, picked up the phone, and began to dial. When the line went dead, I looked up to find Dick had ripped out the phone cord. He was holding it up, smiling. Prick. What do we do now? Cried Marie. I sighed, my mind mulling over different possibilities. We're going to have to handle this ourselves. Susan, are you crazy? He's a maniac. That's nothing new. This isn't funny. It was never funny, Marie. What do you propose? Maybe you could give him a blowjob and he'll go away. She put her hands on her hips. That's not fair. It's survival here. I need this job. I shook my head. No one needs a job that badly, Marie, even you. She narrowed her eyes at me. Look at you, Miss High and Mighty. You put up with it too. I don't see you quitting. I don't let pigs like him push me out of a good thing. If I leave, it's going to be on my terms. Well, what are your terms for leaving this office in one piece? I put up a hand. Shut up, I'm thinking. She wanted to say something, but she refrained. Getting out was more important than getting even. I snapped my fingers. I have it. He's like a zombie, right? Yeah, I guess so. So, how do you kill a zombie? You kill the brain, right? She looked unsure of where I was going with this. Right. Are we sure he's a zombie? I don't care. I'm going to brain him either way. She didn't see my last performance review, all because I wouldn't go back to his room with him at the conference in Vegas. He had his hands all over me at the bar, ignoring his ringing cell phone, his poor wife calling. I don't know. Come on, Marie, don't get all Stockholm on me. She nodded, swallowing hard. Okay, how? I looked around the office for anything I could use. I walked over to my paper cutter, unscrewed the bladed handle, and hefted it. It was like a machete. When I say go, open the door. I don't know about this. I tightened my grip on the handle. Don't worry, I won't miss. Are you sure that's going to reach his brain? I'm sure. Open the door. Looking dubious, she crept over to the door. Dick followed her, rubbing himself up against the glass. She took a deep breath and unlocked it. Dick came dashing in. I had only one chance at this. I swung the blade with all my might, bringing the blade down towards the floor and back up in an arc, burying it between his legs. He went rigid, his eyes rolled back into his head, and he dropped to the floor. I placed my hands on my hips and smiled. See? Right in the brain.